and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build video. And today we are making this 90s American family house. So I don't know what happened to me. I think I was scrolling through Pinterest, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to make because there's just like so much I wanted to make. Bear in mind, I do have a build within my PC that I have done and I have created all the content for, but I'm scared to upload it because that will be the first official build of the save file that I'm creating that anyone could download. Well, anyone who has the packs. Like it'll be a non-CC save file that has that both the Sims within it and the builds don't have CC, because normally within my build, the builds sometimes don't have CC, but the Sims most definitely do, because I don't even know how to build a Sim anymore without CC. Like a house, yeah, maybe, but a Sim, but I had to do it and I did it, and I'm actually really happy how it came out, and I can't wait to show you guys what it looks like. But yeah, since it'll be such an official video, I'm just like a bit hesitant to post it, but I think I'm gonna like have this thing going that every Friday, well, maybe every Wednesday, I always post that. Or if I'm feeling extra like buildy that week, I might even just do a double upload. Don't hold me to that though. And yes, but basically, and yeah, in the beginning of this video as well, it was slightly glitchy, but nearing to the end of this video, it does get a lot better, which I'm really happy about, because when I saw that the start was really glitchy, like really, really glitchy, I was like, oh no, it started again. But no, it was just because I think what I've noticed with my game is that sometimes it's the loss. So a lot of the times within my builds, if you've seen them on the gallery, when they show up on the gallery, they're not facing the right way, because 9 times out of 10, I don't build my builds where the Sims perceive where the front of the build should be. So they normally end up facing the other way. So what happened with this time with this build is this is the first time in a very long time I've made a build actually face where it's supposed to face. So on the gallery is going to look amazing. But it's just a little bit more glitchy, because I feel like the front of the house is always the glitchiest part of the house. And look at me now. I've randomly skipped to haven't done the not the floor plans, but like most of the floor thing. Wait, no, at this point I had done the floor plans. So basically what happened in this situation is that I was editing, I was building or something, and then I remember, because I started building this on Sunday evening, and I was editing and I was building, and I was like, okay, I don't really understand what's going on exactly, so let me just play around with it until I realize, okay, I've actually started doing a little bit too much, so why don't I start recording again? So all of this landscaping, I did the entirety of the exterior floor plans, painting, all of that, and the what's it called, the entrance area and a tiny bit of the living room. That's what I did last night. And then early this morning, not early, it was like past 9 o'clock, I did the rest of the house. But yeah, it's slightly glitchy when I'm editing from the front of the house, but beyond from that, it's quite good. And I did stay and look at it a little bit, and I was kind of, I won't say I'm happy that it was glitchy, because it doesn't look the most professional, but I was slightly happy that it was glitchy, just because I could delete a lot of footage. Because when I finished building it and I saw 8 gigabytes, I was like, 8 gigabytes normally translates to at least a 30-minute video. That's how I know in my head. 8 gigabytes is a 30-minute video, 10 gigabytes is a 40-minute video, and anything above 10 is normally going to be a 50-minute video. For example, the Cyber City, I believe, is my longest video. Maybe, I'm not too sure. The Cyber City is 15 gigabytes, and that translated to a 50-gigabyte video. So that's what I have in my head when it comes to builds and stuff like that. Also, my recording's a little bit different, because what I've done is I've got 2 camera tripod. I promise you, this I'm not. It is a tangent, but it's important. I have a camera tripod, and I've always wanted to have my mic on a tripod. So what I did was I kind of taped it onto my camera tripod because of the other what this one is missing the attachment to it. So I was like, it's sitting there gathering dust. Might as well connect to my microphone. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be perfect. Now I can do Sims videos again where I am simultaneously recording and doing the actual video, because the reason why I don't do a lot of videos like that is because my desk is too thick to connect to the mic stand, so I need to have another stand. So I was like, okay, this is great, this is brilliant. The only issue with that is that I have to go and get it every single time. It's more of a, I won't say a hassle, but it's literally 2 seconds. But it's different because normally sometimes I do my videos whilst I'm sitting at my desk. But sometimes, like these past few videos, I've been sitting in my bed because it's cold and I like to have my duvet on me. And what happens is that I put my mic on the side of my bed so I can just literally reach over and I can then use my mic. But now it's on the other side of my bed on a tripod, so I need to remove that. Then I have to sit differently and do the entire recording. And I will be doing that for when I do certain videos. But other ones, I am going to be doing what I'm doing now, which is using my phone. The first time I found out I could use my phone when it comes to stuff like this is actually when we were creating, because I've said before that I don't have a job, I'm unemployed, but I am applying for jobs. But my specialty is entertainment and video creation, specifically fictional slash filmmaking video creation. So like documenting, filmmaking, fictional filmmaking, all of those kinds of things. So when I made a short film during my university period, it was secondary shoot, and we realized we didn't have the guy who had the mic, because the first day we had a mic that we actually borrowed from the university, but then it didn't fit into the jack of the camera. So we had to borrow this mic from one of our producers. And then on the second day of filming, we were like, oh my gosh, he's not here. We can't call him here because we're like literally already on set. What can we do? And then we decided, let's just use a phone. So we used my phone, and the audio was near enough, almost better than the audio we got from the mic, because I don't know what it is, but it was just so good. So after that, after knowing, it's just I never named it. I think we did this as well with another film. We used my phone for another. Using your phone, if you want to hack, it's not the greatest for long range. So for long range, it's always going to be great to use a boomstick, because that way, especially if you've got the right kind of mic. I forgot the names of the mics. I think they're not Canon. No, they're not Canon. They're not Canon mics. They are... I've forgot all the names and the technical names for the mics, but they are these specific... No, they're out of my head. I even forgot because with the mic, you also get this... I was going to call it a machine. You get this... It's not a remote, but you get this task cam. Yeah, you get a task cam where you can... You change the levels and stuff like that, and add the gain, remove the gain, blah blah blah, all of those kinds of things. And then you've got the actual mic itself, and it's a Rode mic, that's what it's called. And yeah, so it's better to use a mic, specifically more professional mic. Like if you can get a Rode mic, get a Rode mic, because normally and if you can have a dead cat on it, especially in windy situations, which is like the fluffy thing you see on booms. And then with Rode mics, the way that they are created, and I'm pretty sure there's other great mics as well, but I'm talking about lower budget films. Rode mics are still extremely expensive. If like, for example, because I feel like a lot of people, when they say, oh, low budget filmmaking, you're expecting, oh, so this is gonna be like, to get all the stuff, it's gonna be less than 100. No, they're talking about probably less than 10 grand. That's what most people are talking about when they say low budget filmmaking. And I just got, by the way, before I continue with that, I didn't record most of me doing the basement level. So the basement level, you actually don't even probably know what it is. It's the pantry, which is that little place at the back. And then it's also the laundry area, because I used the entirety of Pearson's tidying up CC pack to use that area. But I thought, because all my basements are always so glitchy, that it was not going to work. So I was like, okay, let me not just film it anyways. You'll just get a little surprise when you download the video, only for me to find out now it wasn't even glitching. So that was a great surprise to see. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, most people, when you are listening to them talking about how they utilize the equipment, budgeting, funding, everything like that, you always expect that they're gonna say, okay, so this was like, I could borrow this for like, okay, it's unrealistic to think to borrow anything for maybe less than £30, but you'll think like, okay, yeah, I can borrow this for £30, I can borrow this for £30, and I can get this for £30 in order to do a low budget film. Because when I say, I'm saying low budget independent self films, like a low budget film is £1 million. That's an extreme, that's like a low budget, that's a really low budget film, £1 million in industry terms, not in independent or individual terms. That's industry terms. £1 million is a low budget film. But then a film that is not necessarily low budget, but it's like, it could be an independent film in low budget, you'll get less than £1 million. But it's really unlikely, because the problem is the million might seem like, oh, that's a lot of money, you can do a lot of it, but there's a lot of legalities that that million will go towards. For example, contracts, go towards insurance. There is so much insurance when it comes to films. It will go towards pays for a lot of people, because if you're doing £1 million film, and you don't, I'm pretty sure a lot of it's going to probably be a really big film, so a lot of people would want payment towards it, and it's not going to be really ethical to work in a volunteer basis for it. So then you've got to pay for a lot of people. Then you have to pay for like ambulances, you have to pay for fire crews, because you're having them on standby. You're not having them, like, you're not calling them up like you would when doing a film. If there was a fire to suddenly occur on set, you would have called 999, for example, or 911, or whatever your emergency code number is in your country. You wouldn't call them, because then the fire, you should have had them as a precaution, because if the fire then ends up ruining whatever lot, that's your insurance gone, that's more money gone. It's way more expensive to just call them than to actually just have the department there on standby, or have the ambulance there on standby. But again, you have to pay, because you're taking these emergency people onto your set, and then you have to like get you have to pay the people where you get in the set from, and it's like really difficult when you have to get the council involved. And then suddenly you're looking at it and you're like, there is so much money disappearing. And then let's not even talk about distribution. Distribution is so, the cost consuming is not a word, it's not a term, but it is just so, it's so draining towards your budget, just because marketing is so expensive. And then depending on what type of marketing, social media marketing, guerrilla marketing, any type of marketing, it's so expensive in that front. And then it's also where you place your films. Film festivals are extremely expensive. Like one film festival can be £100 sometimes. And then you've also got screenings. So sometimes you have to pay to have your film screened so it can be seen by some people if you see it in all winning film festivals. And then the winning, it's just gone. It's all gone. So when realistically you're thinking, oh, I have a very small budget, you probably have maybe like, I don't know, like less than 1,000, like, because 100, you can make a film with 100, but everyone has to be working on a volunteer basis, and you have to do a lot of borrowing. So for example, can I borrow your camera for free? So probably have to utilize a friend. Can I borrow your place for free? So utilize it in a friend's place, and I can cook for you and stuff like this. Like, it's just a lot of fun. You, to make a film under £100, people just want to be making films. Like, you have to have people who want to make films, that have the time to make films. But if you're looking for like a micro budget, I'm saying 10 grand. Like, that's like, and that's borderline risking it. So it's stuff like, I don't know what I was talking about. When did I started talking about budgeting films? Can you tell I'm on a phone? I watched Dune last week. Last week I got to go to London, and I got to watch Dune in an IMAX cinema. I got to go to the British Film Institute and watch Dune there. It was amazing. Absolutely loved it. It was the craziest thing ever. I love my friends so much for allowing me to go there and see it. It was my first ever time going to an IMAX cinema, and I see what the hype is about. I think I'm ruined now to ever watch another film that's not in that type of place. I don't know the specifics of what an IMAX cinema is, but what I can tell you is that the IMAX cinema is an extremely, especially the one at the BFI, is the biggest cinema screen in the UK. So it's a very huge cinema screen. Like, I'm talking, I don't even have to, like, maybe like 2 times like width and height of a normal cinema screen. It feels almost like you're in the immersiveness is really pushed through it because it really does feel like you're in the space. And then the sound is amazing. I couldn't stop talking to my friend. I think she's getting sick of me because I couldn't stop talking about how amazing the sound design was. I was just like, oh my gosh, this sound design. Can you hear that? Can you hear? Because I absolutely love sound design in films. I feel like there is like, I want to work in every single aspect of film. I obviously the main part I want to do is directing. That is my all-time everything. I want to be a director. But there are other aspects that I love. I just would love to just look at. And I think that's the fun of a director. You can just look at everything and have a little toe in into everything. And I love that. It's overwhelming, but it is so fun. An aspects I really love, like when I'm not fully directing, I'm editing. So normally the roles I go for, if I'm not being the director, is the editor or being the producer. But I love sound design. I don't think I would be good at it because I'm not that creative at it, because stuff like that. Like I do make music, but most of the music is not like for cinema. Actually, that's a lie because I have an entire soundtrack album for cinema. But I digress. I really love sound design and every single aspect of that film, every single rumble, every single turn, every single whisper, every single explosion. It's just, it really, the entire time I was on the edge of my seat. Okay, not the entire time, but most of the time. I've never done that in films. I've never really been, and it's been such a long time since I've watched a film. Like I did the whole Barbieheimer thing during summer, and it was okay, but it wasn't like, oh, cinema. But when I well, you can see me do a little bit of the basement. I didn't realize I did film a tiny bit of it. This glitching a little bit, and then I left. But anyway, it's been such a long time since I've just been like, whoa, like every single time I go to a cinema, I always feel inspired and be like, oh, I wanna make a film, I wanna make a film. And I did start writing a script as soon as I finished watching Dune, because I had to get back, and on my journey back, I was just like thinking of all these ideas because sci-fi is one of my favorite genres. I've said this to death, and I was like, okay, I really want to make a sci-fi because I know sci-fi and fantasy, but the thing with sci-fi is that the sound design is completely different from fantasy. Fantasy is more floaty. Sci-fi, you feel that in your abdomen. Oh my gosh, did I feel the sound in my abdomen? Like every single rumble, I was like, whoa, that's in my body. Like that's crazy. Like, oh, I loved it so much. And it was just like such a fun experience. And it literally felt like 30 minutes, let alone 3 hours. But unlike the other films I normally watch, I will not be discussing how I felt about the film besides the fact I loved it, because it is quite a new film. It hasn't even been out in cinemas for a week in the UK yet. So I will discuss Dune with you in like 3 months, hopefully when all of you have watched it. But yeah, it was just, it was so fun. What was I talking about? I was talking about budgets, and then I started talking about Dune, and then I completely lost the plot. But yeah, I'm going to start talking about the build now. Within this 90s inspired build, it was honestly so much fun to make because there's this one specific CC pack I've always wanted to download, but I've always been like, when would I really utilize it? But I got struck with the feeling of, oh, I really want to utilize this pack. So I downloaded it specifically and made this house with that idea in mind. So the CC pack is called Nostalgic Living Room or Nostalgia Living Room by a Winged Llama. And I did use quite a bit of a Winged Llama stuff, but I mainly used the Nostalgia CC pack. So most of the exterior also is not only just that, but it's also because on March 1st, Max 20 released the Cars CC pack for the public. So I was like, broke down Cars, I'm downloading them, and I'm downloading a nostalgic living room pack, and I'm gonna make this really nostalgic type of American house. And so once all of those stuffs came out, I think if you wanted to download this, again, I'm so sorry, console players or paid, and I understand that you might not want to download this necessarily because I think you noticed maybe on my castle one, and you might notice it a little bit on this one. My UI is broken. If you look on the top right corner, my UI is broken. I've updated the mod that is normally affected when my UI is broken, but then I've got a lot of information from different types of Sims channels saying that it's all borderline all of the script mods are broken because the Sims community, the Sims team decided to change a specific code that they don't normally change, so all of them have to be updated by the creators. But my game is functioning well, so I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about it to the CC creators because they're amazing. But yeah, on that front, if you wanted to download this house, the entirety of the exterior is non-CC. The wallpaper, the doors, the windows, everything is non-CC in that front. So if you just want to decorate it, and if you want to decorate it, like do like your own wallpaper, do your own furniture, stuff like that, you can download it. It just won't come with the CC, but that entire aspect will be there. Every single thing, including even the outdoor furniture, all of that stuff is non-CC, so you can get that. It's literally only the interior, like the cars and the furniture and stuff like that, that is CC. So if you want to download it, you can. But yeah, I'm honestly so happy with this. It just gives me that really 90s vibe, and I just feel, even though I've never lived in America or stepped foot in the country, and even though I have never even stepped foot in the 90s, it's really feeling nostalgic to me. I'm really tell me guys now, honestly, like in the comments, tell me how you feel about this. Like, does this give you the vibes? Like, I really loved it. But anyway, the videos, oh, look at that view, it looks so nice. Honestly, this is why I love Strangerville, but Strangerville is like my favorite world. I keep saying this, but anyway, yeah, all the information is in the description below regarding where to download the tray files and all of that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you like and subscribe, but if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I'll read all of your comments, the more the merrier, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.